We just got stopped by the police, I assume it is. I think it's just a regular checkpoint, but they've had Jay get out and go take his driving licence over. Adi was fast asleep, and unfortunately, now she is wide awake. We were on a 2.5 hour drive, so it's less than ideal that she's woken up. We're only about 45 minutes in. So I'm not sure we're going to be able to drive to where we're going to now today, because she won't go back to sleep again now, and obviously it's a long time for her to be awake for the rest of the time now. She'll get bored and a bit fed up. It's taking Jay ages as well. I don't know what they are talking to him about, so hopefully it's just that they're chatting and it's not anything to worry about, but yeah, anyway, we'll see when he gets back.
Well, we've been met with our first bit of corruption.
Whoa!
They pulled us over, and then he asked to see my licence. I went and saw the chief. He said that I didn't stop at the stop sign, but we stopped at the stop sign. There was a car that was actually stationary in front of us, so we had to stop because there was a car there. And then the guy with the camera, I don't know if you saw Sarah, but he waved us through.
Yeah.
So I drove through, and then the chief said that we had to pull over. I went over to speak to the chief, and there was an English guy who was also being stopped. Basically, he just said it's going to be 400 for not stopping. And the guy went to the car. He protested a little bit, then he went to his car, got some cash, and he said, "What about I'll give you 200? And he said, "All right." So if it's 400, it's 400. That just goes straight into that dude's pocket.
Yeah.
It took a long while to decide what he was going to do with me, because I just wasn't going to entertain that. And in the end, he just said, "Okay, go on then. You sure you stopped?" I said, "I'm sure I stopped. There was a car in front of me."
What?
He said, "Okay, go on then." And that was that.
Wow.
So we've got away with it this time.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I was wondering what was taking so long.
Yeah. There was also a discussion about the Arsenal Football Club in there.
Oh, right.
Whenever someone asks you, if you say Arsenal, it's always helpful.
Okay, well, let's see how far we can get now with this babe awake.
I feel like I should probably just explain a little bit more. That was a 100% a shakedown. There was no legitimacy to that whatsoever. So their argument was that basically they were fining anyone who wasn't coming to a standstill at the sign that said that you had to stop. We had 100% stopped, like I say, because there was a car in front of us. We couldn't have done otherwise, and they were still trying to shake me down for that 400. It was definitely corruption. That money was definitely going into those police officers' back pockets. To be quite honest, we've not seen it anywhere else.
Yeah.
And we'd heard a lot that it could happen on forums and stuff like that. And let's be honest, it does happen all over the world.
Yeah, of course, it's not just Morocco.
No, but it's never happened to us before. We've never ever encountered that kind of thing.
Yeah, in like, what, over 2 months?
Yeah. So it's come as a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
A little bit of a disappointment as well. And I will say that most of the cars or in fact every single car that I saw pulled over seemed like a hire car with tourists in as well. So it seems like a bit of a tourist tax. I don't know whether that's just the area that we're in, whether it was just a bad day for them or what. But yeah, corruption at its finest.
Well, family, we made it.
We did.
Had to pull out every snack and every entertainment tactic in the book.
Yeah, she's done amazing.
She has done really, really, really amazing. You did it, Bob! Yeah!
And the scenery around this campsite looks incredible.
It does. Like, it's just in the middle of a gorge, like with a river running alongside. Absolutely beautiful.
This campsite is another one that does deliveries of food to your van. I'm really liking this service.
Yeah, I know.
It's a like, pretty cool development.
It is. It's the ultimate takeaway.
Yeah, exactly. So we have ordered a kefta tagine with eggs, and it comes with all the trimmings as well. I'll show you that in a second, but are you going to open this tagine?
Shall I do it?
Yeah, let's have a look.
Oh, normally they do this for you and I miss it. Are you ready? Whoa, look at that.
That looks stunning.
Oh
okay.
my
Pop
gosh.
the lid back on, let's keep it warm, because we have got other stuff, as I mentioned. There's olives there. We've got a Moroccan salad here. Here there is a very traditional plate of chips. Did you order that?
No. There's so much food.
Yes, there's tons.
Like a lot
we'll
of
be eating this
food.
for 3 days. Come on, let's get cracking. Our next stop is somewhere that we're super excited to get to, and we think it's going to be a really, really cool place to visit. However, our internet ran out this morning, so we tried to find somewhere on the way to stop, and we think we have found somewhere. It's in a town called Midelt, I think it is, and we've just driven past the Inwi shop where we want to recharge our internet, and it's freezing. It's absolutely freezing. We're surrounded by mountains with snow on and stuff, so it shouldn't be a surprise really, and I imagine that we're probably quite high up as well. But the weather is properly sub-zero, I think. This is cold.
It is, like everyone's got like scarves, hats, coats, a big coat on, another big coat, and like gloves as well. This is the first time I've seen anyone wearing gloves in Morocco, I think.
Yeah, this is serious weather.
Yeah, so we need to wrap up warm before we get out.
Absolutely.
We've just seen a market as well that we've drove past, so hopefully we can pick up a bit of fruit and, I don't know, maybe get a bit of lunch, do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And then we'll carry on. Well, that definitely wasn't the healthiest lunch that we've had, right?
No.
But it did the job, and it was tasty.
Absolutely, it was pretty good, yeah. We should probably explain how we got there as well, because we were actually in the Inwi shop sorting out our contract, and I asked the guy at the end if he knew anywhere that was good to eat around here, because we just needed to get something pretty quickly. So he actually got out of the shop, came with us and took us to his favourite restaurant, which is just around the corner. Yeah, amazingly friendly. So that's how we ended up there.
Yeah.
And yeah, really good.
Yeah, it was.
So now we are going to head on back through the souk that we just drove through, and there's quite a few fruit and vegetables and stuff that we think we're going to pick up some grub for the next few days. And we also spied a pastry shop.
Ooh, I forgot about that.
It looks amazing on the way past. Hopefully it's still open and it hasn't sold out.
AJ just got given a gift, a massive strawberry.
I bought half a kilo of cherry tomatoes, and the guy, he just wouldn't let me pay for them. He just gave them to us for free. And I don't know, just such generosity. And I mean, these things are worth their weight in gold in the UK at the moment, right?
I know.
You can't even buy a tomato in the supermarket. Right, so this is our market haul, and just to give you an idea of what sort of stuff we're buying and how much it's costing, I'll just take you through what we got. 2 kilograms of orangey things. I don't know whether they're oranges or clementines or satsumas or what.
Don't worry about that.
2 kilograms,
Oranges.
that costs 10 dirham. So that is just under £1. We got half a kilogram of cherry tomatoes. Those are what the guy gave us for free. This is, I think, 2 kilograms of bananas. That was maybe 15 dirham. Then we got some blueberries, 2 mangoes, and a kilogram of strawberries. That came to 55 dirham. Olives, 2 different types of olives. They were 5 dirham each. And then we got some herbs, some parsley, some coriander, and some mint as well. All 3 of those came to 4 dirham 50. So in total we worked out that that was 82 dirham roughly.
Yeah, 81.50.
Something like that,
yeah.
Which in English pounds is about £6.50. So not bad at all.
It's really not bad, is it? We're going to be so sad in the UK. Then you forgot our sweet treats.
Yes, we completely forgot our pastry stuff. We got one of these massive Moroccan breads. We got 2 of these choux pastry cream-filled eclair type things.
Gosh, can't wait to have those.
They look amazing. And we got another piece of, I don't know what that is, custard cake, something like that.
Yeah, something.
All of that costs 12 dirham, which is less than £1.
So go on then, how much do you think that would cost in the UK? I mean, we haven't been there for a little while, so the prices have probably gone up even more, but what's your best guess?
I'm saying that would probably cost you about 25-30 quid. Okay, well, we are ready to hit the road again. We are watered, fed. I really love finding little towns like this that were kind of unintentional stops.
Yeah.
We didn't mean to stop here whatsoever, no plans. But we really enjoyed it. Lots of very friendly people.
Yeah, it's been really
and
nice.
yeah, just a lovely town to kind of explore the little bit of it that we did. But we have got another couple of hours to do today. It's
Double
gonna be
drive day.
Yeah, exactly. We don't do many of these because of AD, obviously. But this one, we think it's going to be worth it. We're going to somewhere really excited. I think we've said that already a few times.
Yeah.
And we think that AD is going to absolutely love it. So let's go.
I didn't realise we were going to be going right into the forest.
I know, this road, it's a little bit sketchy. It's not too bad, but it's kind of like a dirt track, so it's quite bumpy. We're having to take it pretty slow. But yeah, we're heading right into the deep of the forest. And we've already seen a couple of what we came here to see as well, which is really exciting.
Just to give you another clue as to what we are here to see then, AD is eating her snacks now before we get out of the van, because at this place she is not going to be allowed to eat snacks outside.
Well, if you hadn't guessed it by now, we are in the Ifrane National Park and we have come to see the monkeys, or the Barbary macaques to be absolutely correct. And this is completely different to what I expected, I'm not going to lie. They're absolutely everywhere.
Pretty cold now.
Pretty cold. I'm absolutely freezing. That's why I've got my hands in my pockets, because they're about to drop off from the cold, I think. I'm not going to be able to be out here for much longer. I'm not dressed for it. Oh, we need to get in and get that diesel heater going.
There's quite a few cars here still at the moment, and like tour groups and stuff. But I reckon when they've gone and it gets dark,
yeah,
it's going to feel like a very different place.
I imagine so, yeah.
I think it might feel quite spooky in a way.
Yeah, so we're staying here the night actually in our camper van. You can do that, and there is a night guard as well. And at the moment we are the only camper van that's here, so yeah, I think you're right. It might be a little creepy.
Yeah.
See what noises and stuff come out of the forest at night.
Yeah.
We've woken up bright and early this morning, and we went back to sleep actually. So it is now probably about 10:30, but there's still no one here. I was expecting it to be really busy with tour buses and stuff, because apparently it gets pretty full, and we saw how popular it is when we arrived last night.
Yeah.
But it is raining, so maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah. It's just so quiet now compared to yesterday. Like when I was saying it was probably going to be quite a noisy night, it definitely wasn't. Like apart from the rain, like we didn't hear anything, did we?
You could still hear some of the monkeys at some point.
Yeah? Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't hear them. But yeah, we can't see any monkeys at the minute. We're going to have a little wander around and see if we can see them like further back in the trees, because it seems like they definitely just come to this part when the people are here.
And take on the tour buses.
Oh.
Something that I've found really interesting about this place is the actual habitat. I didn't really expect monkeys to be living in this kind of habitat. I don't know why, but for some reason I thought it was going to be warm. I hadn't really looked at the topography or anything like that, so I didn't know that we were going to be at altitude. And also all of the trees are cedar trees, which again, not necessarily what I would have expected for monkeys to be living in. What do you reckon?
Yeah, no, I think I associate monkeys with like warm countries.
Yeah.
I mean, not that Morocco isn't warm in parts, but it's cold here.
Yeah.
They must just obviously be really good at keeping themselves warm, right?
Yeah, definitely. Adapted to this environment.
Yeah, but it's definitely, this morning certainly rainy, dull, misty, foggy. Like it certainly doesn't feel like where you would typically expect to find monkeys. Maybe that's just us.
We're walking up from the car park to try and find some monkeys, because I guess because there's no people around with food and stuff, they just weren't hanging around the car park, so we haven't seen any yet this morning. But we can hear them in the distance, and they're quite loud, and they make this kind of almost like a barking sound. It sounds like a cross between a dog barking and a duck quacking. You can hear it up ahead. I don't know if you can hear that as well. So we're going to walk that way and see if we can find them. Well, there was me thinking I was getting my David Attenborough on, and Sarah reckons that noise that I was hearing was a bird. She's pointed to a crow that's up there. I don't think that's a crow.
I just followed the noise and looked up and there was a bird.
And then the noise started again in the distance.
Yeah.
So we're going to carry on a little bit further.
Found them.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're through there.
Oh. Oh yeah.
On the ground, can you see them?
Yep. You may not be able to spot these on the camera because they're pretty far away, but we've just come across 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
There's some little ones swinging in the trees. There's a few of them that are just down on the ground. There's a big one that's kind of coming towards us now over there as well.
Oh yeah. They're really well camouflaged, aren't they?
Absolutely, yeah.
So you can't see them very well. And apparently what did you say? They hang about in packs of like 15 to 20 or something?
I think 10 to 30. Yeah.
10 to 30, yeah. So
Pretty
this
large groups.
is probably a pack.
Yeah. That tree started shaking.
There he is. Hello.
This is how comfortable they are with humans.
Wow.
Just come right up.
Oh my gosh. AD, look at them. Wow.
Well, we found them. What an amazing way to start the morning that is.
I know.
It's just incredible seeing them out there in the wild. And they're such beautiful creatures as well,
They are.
seeing them up close and personal.
Yeah.
We can't gloss over the fact though that we feel kind of conflicted about it because obviously they are wild animals and here we are in their habitat. We're not going to get on our moral high horse because we're doing the same thing. We came here to see them as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know, feeding them stuff that I'm not necessarily sure is in their diet. And some of the, I suppose, behaviour around them that we've seen people doing is
we saw people teasing them yesterday, didn't we? Like with food and stuff, and that's not cool. Like
no, absolutely not.
Know.
But at the same time, this is an endangered species, and this is the biggest community of them in the world, I believe.
Yeah.
There's quite a few here, so perhaps they're doing something right. I don't know. We don't have the answers.
Yeah.
As I say, we feel a little bit conflicted about it, but at the same time, we've really enjoyed seeing them in the wild.
So you're saying this feels like you're in England?
The weather, is grey, it's grim. It's drizzling, not even proper rain, and it's so green around here as well.
Yeah,
just tons and tons of trees and greenery. This feels very much like being back in England. We have arrived in Meknes. We're parked up just outside the old city walls and it's quite a beautiful park up. It's just on-street parking, no facilities or anything like that, but it is 50 dirham per night, which is about £4.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cheap. And we're planning to stay here 2 nights because there's quite a lot to explore around these parts, we've heard.
Yeah, I started putting a bit of an itinerary together yesterday and I was like, we can't do all this in one day. So we're going to stay here a couple of nights, I think. You forgot to mention that it's guarded parking.
It is guarded parking,
that's
yes.
what we're paying for essentially. It's lunchtime, so first things first, we are going to head into the Medina and find somewhere to eat.
Sarah had done a bit of research on places to eat here in Meknes and had found a few restaurants that looked really good. So we were just walking on our way to visit one of those, but we came down this alleyway and in the alleyway there was a barbecue restaurant that was just kicking out some amazing smells. The smoke outside was really enticing. So we stopped and had a look and the guy invited us in. We decided to just sack off the restaurant and come and eat in here instead. And I think it is probably the smallest restaurant that I've ever been in.
Yeah.
But it smells great. We're really looking forward to this. That was really good. Okay, I'm not exaggerating here when I say I think that was the best kefta that we have had in the whole of Morocco. It was properly delicious. It was stuffed with spices and herbs and it was really flavourful and it was just beautifully cooked as well. It was really moist. Just incredible. That is good food. I'm so glad we stopped there instead of going to that restaurant.
So what are you thinking? What are your first impressions of Meknes?
I really like it. It is definitely nowhere near as touristy as a lot of the other cities and Medinas that we've been to, although we've only just got into the Medina, we haven't really been anywhere else. But it just has got a really friendly vibe, a really kind of laid back vibe. Everyone's been really nice to us. So yeah, I like it.
Me too.
We are now stood in the main square of Meknes, which unfortunately has got loads of building work going on. For some reason this happens to us quite a lot when we're travelling.
I know.
We get somewhere and what should be a spectacular site is actually a building site. But you can still see how it would look incredible, and just opposite us are the main gates to the city as well, which look absolutely stunning.
They do. They've got all scaffolding around them. You can kind of see them a little bit. But actually, I think it's really good that they're doing the restoration work. Because
yeah, absolutely.
some of the Medina that we just walked through, like, it was so beautiful, but you could see that like a lot of it was just kind of crumbling.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good that they've obviously got plans that they're doing a lot of works in the city. After reading about it, one of the places that I was really looking forward to visiting here was an underground prison. It just sounded really interesting. Basically, it's a big sprawling space underneath the city where there used to be 60,000 prisoners kept. Now, a lot of them were actual criminals, some of them were political prisoners, but most of them were actually slaves, and they used to be brought out of the prison during the day to work on various building projects around the city, and then at night taken back underground, and they were chained to the walls and had to sleep standing up because there were so many people down there. Unfortunately, we're just telling you this from outside because it's closed for restoration work, so we can't go in. But those little holes that you can see behind me that are like popping up from the ground are like the air holes that go down into the prison underneath. And apparently on top here it used to be kind of like a diplomatic meeting place. So it was like a massive contrast in the city where you'd have like all the powerful people on top, like having their meetings and doing all their wheeling and dealings, and then underground was just a prison with really awful living conditions.
Just about the only place we wanted to see which was actually open was the magnificent mausoleum of Moulay Ismail. One of Morocco's most significant sultans, he ruled for over 50 years between 1672 and 1727 when he died. He's widely credited with unifying the country, albeit with somewhat brutal tactics, and he actually made Meknes his capital city. The mausoleum has been recently renovated and is suitably spectacular for a man of his stature. Just about half an hour north of Meknes is this incredible Roman Berber city of Volubilis, and I absolutely love coming to sites like this because I can actually feel the history as I'm walking around. I can really picture how life would have been in these kind of places.
I knew you would love this place. So the reason that this place actually looks like it is, in that it's quite ruined, is because a lot of the materials were taken from here to build another city. So the place that we're going to be going to next, Moulay Idris Zahoun, I think it's called, is named after the guy that built that city, who was one of the first major Islamic rulers in Morocco. And yeah, he basically took all the stuff from here and like collapsed the city basically to take all the stones and stuff to build a new one.
It's quite a theme over here, isn't it?
It is quite a theme, yeah. It's also quite sad because obviously this now doesn't have that that part of the history with it, I guess. But yeah, it's just what happened.
And amongst these incredible Roman ruins is where we're going to leave you this week. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then please bash that thumbs up button and head down below for a chat in the comments too. And if you're new around here, then we'd love you to subscribe and hit that little bell button whilst you're there so you get notified every time we post a new video. Next week, we're heading to Fez, where our beautiful Moroccan adventure suddenly turns into a nightmare, and we have one of the worst weeks of our lives as we ultimately end up in a series of medical facilities. Catch you then.